Live streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my deepest gratitude for you watching Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make a note of that so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. And if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/S as in sunset, M as in Mary, and F as in Frank. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunt Hangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and enjoy just watching us on YouTube, fantastic, wonderful. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question. Now, if you find Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share the videos. That helps the channel grow. Please consider joining our YouTube channel memberships, which start at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day, and your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunt Hangar. With your memberships, you get special badges you'll see in the YouTube chat, an unlimited replay of member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a Q&A where you can ask him questions about building and finishing or whatever challenges you have in this hobby, including flying. He's a good flyer as well. But these are for member only, the special ones. So it pays to join, and we need your support. You can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box. It's like a big dollar sign. You can make whatever donation you're inclined to, and we definitely appreciate it. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. And you are making it happen. We're going to grow this hobby one click at a time. So please donate, please subscribe, please share. It really makes a difference with the matrix of the channel. Now, please keep your conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words you wouldn't say around your children and grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and post the link at stunthangar.com/SMF at the bench. And hopefully we will have some friends and some new guests come join us. And let me see here. Let me check on the live chat. Looks like we have 4 viewers already and 2 thumbs up, 2 likes. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And 7 playbacks. And we've been on air so far for 1 minute and 8 seconds. So thank you very much. And let me see what we have in here. Looks like, hey, Carl. I see your initials there, and your camera's off. Also, your mic is turned off. So in the bottom of the screen, next to the phone, you want to click on the one that's the camera, and you want to click on the microphone. There you go. What? That's someone else. Hey, Howard.
Hi, Charles.
How you doing?
All right.
Fantastic. Well, you are the second one in, and that's I really appreciate that, Howard. That's fantastic. And here's hey, Carl. Well, Carl is going in and out. But Howard, I have a guy, and his name is Joe Mata. I'm teaching him how to fly, and today he did 2 loops. You remember when you first did a loop?
Yeah. Hi, John.
Hey, John. Hey, John, I want you to meet Carl. Carl Reed and John Miller.
Glad to meet you.
Santee, California.
Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
There he is. Yeah, he's new at this. We got to give him some grace. And Lynn, how are you doing? You're in here early. That's fantastic.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing well.
Good to see you.
They must have fired him from work or something. Did they fire you?
No, not yet. I hurt my back yesterday though and had to go home early.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not good.
What happened? How'd you do that?
Just strained it lifting too much.
Oh, don't lift too much.
I haven't done that for years.
Don't. You wasn't lifting any of our Stragos or anything like that, right?
No.
Last time I was helping Howard launch his plane.
No, I usually use a crane for that.
Well, anyways, I was telling Howard and Carl that a guy I'm teaching how to fly,
Okay.
he did his first loop today. He did 2 loops.
Cool.
So, and I was just asking Howard, you remember when you first did your first loop, how that is an incredible feeling, right? When you do your
Most
first loop,
definitely.
it is like, wow.
Yeah, the airplane broke at the bottom of it.
Oh, no.
Been
He
there,
usually
done
keeps
that.
that. On the second loop was really close, but yeah, I'm really excited for him. He's already. Hey, Jim.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, we're just having a little party here, but we're gonna have an after party. After the party.
Yeah, I know we are.
Preliminary. And hi, Brendan. Thanks for coming in again.
Yeah, I'm back.
Fantastic. So I went flying today.
Good.
My Chipmunk. I had a vertical CG issue because the plane was it was meant for an inverted engine, and the guy, he didn't move the engine bearings, but he put the engine upright.
Right. So
CG problem. So I added some weight to the landing gear. That helped. And then I thought, let me just put a tongue muffler on there. But I have an OS Max at 35S.
yeah.
So I had to drill the
Oh,
bosses.
there's another kitty.
So I had to drill the bosses to tap it, and I put the tongue muffler, which is a third of the weight.
Yeah,
And
that helps. Big time.
Yeah, the plane flew better. I mean,
That's awesome.
when you make these adjustments, not only does it fly better, it's easier. I mean, everything
Most
was
definitely.
easy. And
It
so I had
keeps
a
you
good day.
encouraged too when they fly better.
Yes.
Most definitely.
So anybody else doing anything fun? I know not everybody has the best weather like I do, but anybody else?
Well, I had some fun time. That plane I designed back in the late '80s is eligible to be Nostalgia 30 right now, and so I got from I had the original, but it was a hand drawn, on pencil and vellum, and it kind of faded over the years. So I got a copy from Model Aviation Plan Service, and I think I showed you. I couldn't show it you very well, but I showed it to you when I first got it. Well, I went in yesterday. I had to go to the VA and went by the print shop where I get all my work done, and I had them take that original plan that I got from the Model Aviation, and I had them scan it in full size to digital to a PDF.
Right.
So a little bit later here, I've got it ready. I'll pick it up. And you get to see. Howard's got his kitty. You'll get to see that airplane done by hand. This is before I was doing CAD work. So I've said several times I wasn't bad at hand work, hand drafting, but I sure like CAD because I put everything in files and cuts down my time. I could just move things in. Howard's doing it on what was available back when I looked at it. I actually bought the program, but I couldn't. I just I had gotten in so far into AutoCAD, I just had trouble making the shift over. Howard did it though. He's using that program. You want to say anything about that, Howard?
Oh, I'm having troubles with it.
Are you?
I'm trying to make a 3D printed canopy now.
Okay.
Canopy?
Wow.
Well, that was
Clear?
3D real I saw at Golden State.
Oh yeah.
Hey Phil, how you doing?
Hey, how's everybody?
Hey,
Oh,
Phil.
well.
What's going on, guys?
Mr. Phil, hello.
Yes, sir.
You're right back.
Doing great. How are you?
Okay.
All right,
It's been a
John.
long time since I've seen you, buddy. Good to see you again. Last time I saw you was at the Nats, I guess. But before that, it was at the 4A Nationals in Winston-Salem. It's been a while.
Yeah, Winston-Salem.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I was there.
40 years. 40 plus years.
That is a while.
Yeah.
I've only been flying that long.
Well, Howard's one of those people you just don't forget. That clown, he showed up in a clown suit, flying combat, and was just killing everybody. He was pretty good.
Who do you know there?
What I hear he still is, but anyway.
Too old to fly combat.
You ain't too old. Tom Looper says he's too old to fly stunt. Says he can't. He says his best days are behind him. I said it's because you just ain't been out in the field lately. He still can unleash on any one of us and whoop us. He ain't lost much.
Howard, you're an inspiration to all of us.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Flying stunt the way you do, I'm impressed. I hope I can still fly stunt when I get there.
How old is he? 5 years old?
How old am I?
Yeah,
He's 37.
37 years young.
Yeah.
Hey Carl, I can't see you. You got to turn on your camera.
Here we are. I'm the baby here, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
How old are you?
I'm 53.
How old are you're the young guy.
I'm 39.
Hey Brendan.
Oh, there's the baby.
Hey, we got some behind us. That's good.
Whoa. There's somebody
Bob.
young.
Hey, Bob, how are you, buddy?
Hey, guys.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
We're on my wife's iPad tonight.
Hey,
All right.
Uh-huh.
Hey guys, I have some for you tonight. I mean, if you guys are curious about it, actually, I had a couple of quick little ones to talk about. First one, paint schemes. It's like when you try to, and this one in particular is for all of you who cannot make a paint scheme if your life depended on it, right?
Right.
So if you have troubles making a paint scheme, that's something you can do, and you almost always get it right. And it's simple to do, and anybody can do it.
I just call my wife.
What?
I just call my wife and say, come and put a paint scheme on this airplane. She has that all down to a science.
Yeah.
She has it figured out as I build the airplane.
Yeah. So I was building this prowler, and I said, I want something simple, quick and dirty, and just get it done. And then I realized, I said, man, this is could be something that is very generalized what I'm trying to do here, but it's very practical at the same time. So here we go.
If you're big.
Now, just give me a second.
All right.
All right.
Now don't break the elevator.
I'll try not to. So here we go. Paint schemes, right?
Right.
What I like to do for paint schemes and keep it super simple, I start with the fuselage because why? Because the fuselage is perhaps the hardest one to put wings, stripes around the wings and go, do whatever you want to do. So for this particular one, I came up with this.
That looks good.
Simple, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So,
I like the
so
rudder.
it really doesn't matter what you come up with. You come up with something, right? You might want to do your green on top of this here, make it the whole tail green, whatever you want to do. Really doesn't matter. Just pick
Can't have
something.
green airplanes.
Yeah. So, but what I would do, see, like this is the Prowler, is kind of cornerish, has sharp corners kind of everywhere. I just also kept the sharp corners around the features here, right?
Right.
If I had like an elliptical stuff, I probably want to have my lines to flow elliptically too. So kind of curved lines and stuff like that flow around, so that's, kind of like complement the shape of the plane per se, right?
Right.
And then I start to do the wing, and this is what I came up with.
Oh, wow, it's nice. Oh, that's really nice.
Tell me, what do you see here?
I see foam.
I see the same thing that you had on the fuselage. Yeah. Right. Continuity.
Yeah, same thing.
The same exact thing. So whatever you put on the fuselage, transpose it to the wing. I could have gone with a trailing edge and put this forward, like a V kind of thing. We can flip it over. It really doesn't matter, So I did this on a wing, and guess what I did on the elevator?
Same thing.
Up. What did I do on the elevator?
The same thing.
Same thing.
I like that. Yeah, it's really nice.
So it's very simple, just come up with something for the fuselage, copy it on the wings on over there, and the end result, at least for me, is this. If you give me a second, I can put the stuff together somewhat. There you go.
Well, don't be surprised. I'm going to probably
so
do that same theme, Tryon, on my plane.
Yeah, I mean, this is for anything. I mean, you can come up with something that complements the shape of your fuselage or whatever you're making over there, right? And here you go. As you can see, I continue this stripe on the rudder. And if you give me a second, I put the wing inside. And here's the overall result.
Oh, that looks nice. That looks very nice.
It does look nice.
Yeah.
Looks sharp. Very
Yeah,
good, Tryon.
I'm going to copy that, Tryon.
I mean, how simple is this?
That looks very simple, and it looks
you
really
don't
good.
have to copy this. What I'm saying is, like, start with the fuselage, because it's much harder to do something on a wing and put it on a fuselage.
I agree. I think that's a good strategy. Do the fuselage.
Good idea.
Do this fuselage third and put it on the wings, and you're gonna see Bob has very similar ideas when he makes his planes. You can find a lot of planes on which you can see the fuselage, and you see the same thing on the wings, and they all look good. And any beginner can do that. So this is
You know what? There isn't a lot. There isn't a lot, so therefore it's light too. Very good.
Yeah,
It's
very good.
simple. Okay.
Looks
Really
good.
nice.
Looks very nice.
That's nice, Tryon.
Now, is that
That's the
monochrome or
problem.
is that something else? What is
What?
that? What kind of film is that?
This is just monocoat.
Monocoat. Okay.
Monocoat with a striping on top of it.
Very nice.
I mean, I'm not trying to get 20 points for this plane. This is going to be mostly a test bed for testing my electronics.
Very nice.
And then I'm going to make it into my profile board to fly profile. And that's all there's to it.
That is very nice, Tryon. That really is.
Now, you see how simple it is to come with a nice paint job? And it's just two colors. Now, if I wanted to put maybe another stripe here, right? Then I would add it the same way.
Right.
I would add it to the elevator as well. I would add it to the wing too. But I was thinking about putting another stripe like this, like a continuous one, like this, made out of silver. And I would just put another silver stripe here and another silver stripe here too.
Wow.
Just to have
very
continuity, like you said. And that's all there's to it. Anybody can do this. I don't care how untalented
What color is the
you are.
canopy?
Huh?
What color is the canopy? Is it white or silver?
I just made the silver, and I masked the silver off, and I just put some extra color. Here, give me a second.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Put a little blue in the silver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty charming.
And it's really not complicated.
Okay, that's good.
So this is the paint, paint scheme, how to do it yourself paint scheme kind of a lesson, if you want to call it that.
Tutorial, yeah.
Yeah, a quick tutorial. So just
Very
come
nice.
up with something for the fuselage, transpose it to put it into the wing. So if I had, like that's what I said, if I had like a silver stripe here or silver stripe here, I'll just add it over there. Whatever you want to do, really doesn't matter. You can make multiple colors, you can do whatever,
That's very nice.
So I hope this helps you guys for the future.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Oh,
good.
absolutely.
I think it will.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
idea.
Well.
My new airplane's all covered as well. It's just ready for trim colors, so it's good timing.
Yeah.
I have
Take your
4
side view of the fuselage, draw it on a piece of paper, scale it down, whatever,
Yeah.
and start drawing on it, whatever you like. And once you like something, try to transpose it to the wings and the tails. Done. And it's always good. It always looks good.
That's cool.
Now, in
Very
addition
nice.
to this, if you could add some panel lines on top of this, I mean, that will look great. It's just simple.
Now, how do you do panel lines on monocoat? Have you ever done
I
it
don't.
before?
Can't.
Okay.
No, I said I'm
You
talking
can't.
about difference. If you do a paint
Yeah.
job or something
If
like
you
that.
paint it, yeah.
Yeah. Because this
I
is
tried
just
panel
paint
lines
scheme. I'm sorry?
I tried panel lines on monocoat. It doesn't work. At least not with the pens that I could get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
can't.
have the
It's pretty hard to
monocoat
make that
pen.
work.
I just haven't tried it.
I think who you want to try to talk to if you want to do panel lines on monocoat. I think his name is Alberto Fiorano. I think he's from Brazil.
Yeah, I remember seeing his build on the Thundergazer.
Yeah. So what I think he did, he gets some. He's using some scuffing pads and some of that. What do you say? It looks like this that made out of steel wool. Okay, yeah, steel wool. And he steel wools the monocoat, and then after that he puts the lines on, and then he clears it on top. And
Yeah, I
this
guess you could
panel
do
lines
that.
looks great. And he's got a beautiful, a brilliant idea to mix a little bit of black in a white ink, so it actually turns gray, and they look silverish when you put them on a plane. And I think they look a lot better. They are much more delicate and much nicer looking than the plain black ones.
Very
And
nice.
but for panel lines, if you do panel lines, look at the picture of a real plane. Okay.
You don't see any panel lines, do you?
And and make some sense. It's like sometimes I understand that you have a Thunderbolt, right? And you want to make the same panel lines to look like an aileron. It doesn't go alongside the flap line. But if you don't have a Thunderbolt, just follow your own flaps and make something to look like a flaps, like it was made by a real firm, by a real aviation place, right? And when you put your panel lines on,
Separate surfaces are the sincerest form of panel line.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so
Very good.
There's a couple of ways that I've done panel lines on monocoat before. This is one of them, although you cannot get it any longer. Yeah,
That's
the
no
guy
use
at
then.
Innovative Solutions the guy who sells all the badass motors and stuff, Lucian Miller.
Yeah.
This was made by L&M, and of course it's a secret, so he doesn't tell you what is actually in it. But this is some unbelievable stuff. I'm sure it's really bad for you.
But yeah, it'll probably kill you.
Perfect. Just what I need. Something that'll kill me and something that isn't available anymore. Perfect.
Well, an innovative person,
Sounds
you
like a
know,
familiar tune.
would try to figure out what this is, or they might call Lucian and say, "Hey, Lucian, you know, what is this stuff?" It's difficult to use because I'm telling you, when you put monocoat over, it's made for super monocoat over super monocoat, and when you, it's just a liquid. You take a little brush and you brush it along. And then when you stick this stuff down, you better get it in place right where you want it, because it's going to stick and you ain't ever getting it off.
Right.
Oh my God.
Now, the other way that I've done it is you take blue liquid laundry detergent soap. And you mix that up with just a little bit of water in it, and you slide that along where the piece of monocoat, your panel lines are going to go, and you just basically squeegee it out, and you'd be surprised if you get a good bond, you know, you get all the air bubbles out and everything, that stuff won't come off either. That soap acts like a glue. So there's a couple of other ways. That one's easily available, and you know, it doesn't do bad. Not quite as serious as this stuff, but because this stuff won't ever come off. You can't rip the two pieces of monocoat apart.
Right.
Wow.
So it really
That is
does a number. It welds them or something, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, yeah.
But the blue soap works pretty good.
Here's something along that. See that?
Let me click on you, John.
That's from Spain, and I guess that's pronounced because like yum, and it's a motor. This is one that Howard might get a kick out of. He'd probably have a big use for this thing. Cute little motor. There we go.
All right, it's a nice looking motor.
Oh, I
Diesel,
can
huh?
smell it from here.
Yeah, it's a diesel. It's a 15.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks brand new.
It's probably just been meant on one time. That's another one. This was the one that was left off that estate sale. And it was sitting there all alone since I got all the other ones. So I called the agent up and asked if it was still there, and he said, yeah. So I made him an offer, and he accepted it. And I mean, look at this. This is nice, you know.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Machining.
Oh yeah, and like I say, it comes from Spain.
Amazing.
Don't see a lot of Spanish motors or engines around here. My hand's in the way. But what I really like about this, because the PAWs don't have this, has this little locking thing on here. So you get your compression set here, and this little locking thing here.
Oh.
You put this over. Once you get it set, you put it over to the right here.
And it locks it in place. Yeah.
It locks it in place.
Good idea.
Very slick.
FAI combat, Howard?
No, it's too slow. Those are usually slow.
Are they?
Yeah, no, they're not that quick. Diesels are not quick.
Well, yeah, but you put a bigger prop with more pitch.
More reach.
Not on an FAI, you don't.
Yeah, that's Howard a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Mix a little moonshine with it, it'll be quick.
Howard, that hardly looks like you anymore.
Yeah, that's back when I was getting my hair cut.
This is when you found nitro in the grocery store, right?
That's right.
That's awesome.
Pretty
Nitro
funny.
milk. Yeah, makes him go faster.
Hey, one comment about I'll share a screen here. One thing I do when I'm looking at trying to design some type of a paint scheme is I go back and I look at photos that I've taken before. And let me see if I can get this done without crashing. Okay, that's actually George Aldrich's, I think, his original one.
Wow.
And you just, I mean, this is I will never do this. That's Derek Barry's plane, and it was at the Nats, and it's unbelievable when you get up close and you look at it.
Yeah.
But you just basically, and the other thing that a lot of guys will do, I have a pattern for this right here. And so I use that and I put it back here. It doesn't intrude in the hinge lines. And then you can do several, different things on a fuselage, which I've done. But you can just, look at what other people have done.
I like that.
Yeah, that was a nice one, huh?
Yeah.
So you just start looking at what other people have done, and it'll inspire you in terms of what you like. Now that was a couple of simple paint schemes here. I mean, that's pretty basic. That's Simpson's Cavaliers, Tom Morris's Cavaliers. And usually what I do is that when I want to see a really good one, I'll go to the, there's my little indoor P51 control line stunner. It's about 12-inch wingspan.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I can see the handle is bigger than the plane.
Yeah, it's very small. And of course, Paul Walker's Predator. That was quite a bit of work. There's Bob's Crossfire. That's simple and very attractive, and you can do a few little different things here, which Bob has done. He's made them a little different here and there.
Kind of like the designer, simple but very attractive.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to say something, but I won't.
Doug Moon's plane. And you can see you just come up with all kind of ideas about what you like and what you don't like. And there's another Derek Barry job.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's from the Nats.
That's my favorite Derek airplane. Didn't last very long.
Yeah, I think that's the one. What's that?
I said, look at the Pathfinder you just showed over there. See, put something on the fuselage, copy it on the wings. Done.
Yeah, it's just like what you did, and a lot of guys will do that. It's a really good way to kind of do it.
That's the simplest way to do it. Yeah, that's why I said you can come up with anything, and just look at this. This again, put it on the fuselage, copy it on the wings.
Yeah,
and you can find a lot of those examples everywhere.
There's a couple Tom Dixon airplanes. Real nice Peacemaker, super Peacemaker. The Big Job.
I've never seen one of those, but I'd like to. The Super Peacemaker.
They're
Super Peacemaker.
flyers.
Yeah, that's what I hear, but I've never seen one. Twister 60. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, there's some people that do. They like big.
Big.
So again, like this guy here, he probably could have broke something up in the fuselage to kind of, follow the wing, what was on the wing, or stuck with what he had on the fuselage.
I thought you shot all your pictures with your telephone. You bring a camera to the national?
No, man, you on an iPhone, brother. That's as good as most. I've shot with Hasselblad cameras before, and they're really not a whole lot better than an iPhone.
Than the new cameras, than the new phones.
Yeah, they're really good.
What I'm getting at, when I tried to take a picture of Derek Barry's airplane a few years ago, the darn thing reprogrammed my phone. You remember that one? That darn thing had stuff on it. It was like that movie. and it was really intricate paint scheme. Just
Yeah.
all kinds of lines on it.
A lot of Randy's planes.
That's pretty.
Follow along this way. But they're nice. And then you have Mike Waldron, who's he's a checkerboard man. A real glutton for punishment.
Yeah,
So,
I can't get them on straight myself.
now this is a really nice flying plane here. This is this is the Jaguar, and it was a guy designed quite a few different ones.
Steve Busso.
Steve Busso did that.
Yes, he had some beautiful planes, and that's a really nice flying one there. And again, it's pretty simple. That's very simple.
Was that Don Ogram's?
Yeah, that was Don Ogren's. It's a Scorpio. Try to get some of these. I was trying to find the there's now that's what you call a glutton for punishment. That's a lot of checkerboards. So anyway, there's
Howard, show him a picture of your impact from a few years back.
Yeah.
That's sharp.
All right. Well, let me switch back.
That's neat. Uh-oh.
Hey!
There we go.
Oh.
I ain't doing this part right.
We're going to infinity and beyond.
Yeah, infinity and beyond. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Come on. Hey, wait.
Howard, how did you do the checkerboards on your impact? I mean, that's.
There we
And
go.
I start mine at the wing leading edge, and it gets bigger as it goes back. It looks like it just keeps going right over the tail. But yours, with that, when it come back and then zigzagged up and came back down, that's sharp. But man, it looked like you spent some time on that.
Yeah, I figured it out in Excel and then drew it in CAD and then took it to the sound shop to get a mask.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. One of these computer gurus. That figures.
I wonder if I got a picture of that.
Hey, Howard, I got a question for you. You know, on your Igor system, you have a little light on the side. Does Tim Westcott make those for other people?
No, I do.
Oh, you make them?
I make them, but to get your money's worth out of it, you need a Tim's tut. Then it'll shut it off when the takeoff mode's done. The tut has a slow takeoff mode, and then the light goes out and comes back on when it's time to kill it arms to kill the. But if you just want the lights, I'll send you that.
Yeah.
It tells you whether your battery's flat.
Yeah, which is really nice when you have an Igor system. That purple plane, Wayne crashed it accidentally. We were doing some test flights on an Igor, and we had it set a 2-minute flight, and the 2 minutes got away from him a little, and he ended up just pulling up into a clover or something, and that was it, right into the ground. Because Igor's just shuts off. You got to have a freaking stopwatch, on you.
Yeah, or tut. I had an Igor once that I had it in calibration mode and forgot about that I had it in calibration mode. So I was flying stunt and I got it upside down and it got this burst of speed. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I know what that is. And I flipped it over just in time for the motor to quit. There's a little burst of speed for it. Quits after 1 minute.
That's the only time it does it, yes.
Yeah. But how many cells you got in your battery, Tim?
I'm running 6-cell battery.
6?
Yeah, it's your standard Thunder Power 2800. I'll have a low KV badass motor in it. I'll be running a Jetty Spin 66, the old one.
That's the bee's knees, I hear. I'll send you some lights for it.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be good.
That's a typical go-to serious setup for a 60 size ship.
Igor or Fiorati, I guess. That's
Yeah,
what-
either Igor or Fiorati 6S and the Jetty SC.
If you run 5-cell, you can run a Schultz as well, but it'll only do 5-cell. But it's very, very fast. I think it's actually Will Huben did some tests for us, and I think it's slightly faster even than the Jetty spin.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it'll only take Orestes Hernandez. That's what he does. He doesn't switch to a Schultz, but he just mixes his 6-cells and 5-cells so that he's got 50 flights when he goes out. He uses every battery in the house. So
Yeah, I know him.
there's not a huge, as big a difference between the 5 and the 6, or at least I haven't noticed it, as when you go up from the lower cell counts. When you go to a 4 to a 5, boy, you really know that. Go from a 3 to a 4, you really know that. But it doesn't seem to make that much difference. I mean, I've flown a couple of planes like that too, where you just stick a 5-cell in it. You generally, if you run an Igor, or I imagine even if you're ready, you don't have to change the RPM or anything.
Go ahead, Charles.
Guys, let me interrupt for a second. Let me say hi. Hey, Sparky, and hi, Peter, and hi, Eddie. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. And on the chat box, Gerald Wimmer, he says, "Hello, Charles, and all those on Stunthangar. Diesels need to combat diesels for a fair chance, as modern glows are too fast by comparison."
Too fast.
They smell better.
Too fast.
Too fast for what?
They do smell
And hi, Gary. I
What
didn't
is
catch
that
the
on
first time, Gary.
Yeah. Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
What is that
There
on the wall
was
behind you?
There's an old Englishman who lived in Vancouver, British Columbia, and he got everybody flying British diesel combat a while back. we were flying these old British diesel combat planes. It was a lot of fun. It smelled bad, but it was a lot of fun.
Did your wife let you back in the house, Howard?
Yeah, I only flew other people's airplanes. I didn't.
They are some stinky motors.
Yeah.
Bob Hunt,
Yes.
what is that airplane on the wall behind you? The red and white
That's
one.
a sweet.
Ooh, that's neat.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of it, but I like the cooling fins on top. Looks neat.
Lester Grogan, 1954 in Texas.
Wow.
Howard probably knows about.
Yeah, famous combat.
Cool.
Very pretty.
Wow.
Isn't that
It's
neat?
electrified.
Oh, that's not right.
That is sweet. Yeah, the I don't know what to call them, but the things on the leading edge look kind of like the Genesis.
Oh, they're just wing fences.
Yeah.
They were, and the airplane they say flew very, very well. It does fly very, very well. But apparently at a nationals, they were protested that these were streamer catching devices, and the AMA made them take them off, and then the airplane never flew as well, and they stopped using it.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of sweep on that wing.
Yeah, I built this for that vintage combat thing that Tom Luciano and
Cool.
When it was hanging on the wall, I couldn't see the back of the wing. I thought it was just the red. I said, "Man, them some skinny wings."
Nice airplane.
That's sharp looking. You fly
Yeah.
combat, Bob?
There's a stunt version of that, wasn't there?
What's that?
Wasn't there a stunt version of that?
Yeah, the King Sweep. And actually, Frank Williams built one of them. The King Sweep. He says it didn't fly that well, but This thing flies good.
Hey, Bob, while you're there, what was it you're using Tight Bond 3 for?
Joining skins. And if you want, I can even do a how-to. I'm in my shop tonight.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
I used it to glue some parts together in my airplane after you mentioned it. I haven't checked to see whether it worked.
I love it. I just joined a set of skins this morning with it, and it gives me the tightest joints and easiest to sand. They're really great. You know.
It's Tight Bond 3. That's what it's called.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Is it like a Gorilla Glue or something?
I got something here just for you, Howard.
Oh yeah, it's a foam brick.
Yeah. Howard came to visit, and I had everything all laid out. I wanted to do a show and tell and show him all the cool stuff I was working on. And he walks into the shop. He looks over at the stack of foam bricks I have, and he goes, "Foam bricks, brilliant!"
Yeah, I forgot about that. I ought to make some.
That is brilliant.
I should put one in every airplane.
Oh
boy.
Go ahead, Charles.
All right, Peter. Peter wants to say something. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, so I guess the Saginaw is not meant to be built.
What?
So you already explained the deal with the leading edge sheeting, that it's not wide enough what comes in the kit. And I contacted Rodak and I said, okay, well, we'll send you 4 sheets of 4-inch wide by 1/16. Well, they arrived the other day, except that's how they arrived.
Let me see.
Oh.
Wow.
Break number 1, break number 2. They all came. They were busted into 3 pieces, and I figured I'd butt glue them together, but no, this is not going to happen.
Well, tell them to try it again, and maybe.
Yeah, I did. I sent them I sent them a message saying that they arrived broke, so they asked me to take pictures of the box, pictures of the packing material and stuff. And they're going to try it again. Hopefully the next batch will arrive in 1 piece. I've only been waiting on this for like a couple of weeks now.
You know, Bob Hunt knows how to send sheets of balsa wood. He's really good at that.
Yeah, but really, do you want to use something like this on a brand new? It's already busted in 3 places.
No, I'm saying that Bob Hunt knows how to send or how to ship sheets of balsa. I mean, when Bob sent them to me, they weren't broken at all.
Well, if you want me to do that how-to on joining the skins, I can.
Yeah.
I'll actually do a little bit about even pre-joining skins here. Let me. I don't know how good we're going to be able to see this or not. So
let me click on you, Bob. Make you big.
Yeah, I gotta move. I gotta move the thing so I can get down like that. Let me see if I can find something to get this.
All right, while you do that, let me ask Brendan a question. Yeah, what are you doing back there, Brendan?
It's a bislop.
Yeah, I'm working on a bislop, and I think maybe Lynn may recognize this one. I think I got it from Brodak's event a couple years ago. I'm pretty sure Sam Lonke was flying it for a moment and then busted into the ground. I think, Lynn, you were repairing it for a moment and got it going, and then he crashed it.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm trying to take it.
Yeah, that's the one that I didn't think that thing was salvageable, but apparently it was.
Yeah, I've put some work into it. I've had to kind of straighten some weight and whatnot.
I'll bet you did.
I took out the tail, and I'm just trying to piece it back together and get it going. So
looking good.
I know all about this. I busted one a couple of years ago and did the same thing, rebuilt the whole thing. It's a heck of a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've got a 10-year-old son, and it's something different. We've been flying trainer.
That's awesome.
But he's never put one of these in the air, and so the idea of having a 2-wing plane is something new and exciting for him. So
perfect. That's awesome. Good stuff.
Very good, Brendan.
Keep at it. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to get it together. I'm a beginner of a builder, so it's going to take some work. And then also I'm trying to electrify it as well. So
Oh,
it'll
wow.
get there.
You're doing a real job on it. Okay.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Thank you. Let me see what's going on with Bob.
Well, we're just still trying to get this.
Okay, that's fine. And Tryon he wants to do some show and tells too.
Yeah, I'm just about ready.
All right.
Yeah, give me another 5 minutes or so.
All right. We're going to have a show and tell night.
Hey, Charles, this is Carl. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good.
Well, I got my new Profile 60 ship all covered and ready to put together.
All right.
Hmm.
Very good.
Yeah, I got all the iron-on done. I finished the iron-on today.
This is the Spitfire?
My final weights for the airplane, without the motor, the tank, the propper, the spinner, is 37.7 ounces.
Oh, me.
So it'll probably come out about 60 ounces.
What's the wingspan?
60.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that'll be nice then.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, 60-inch span. My wing and flaps with the horn is 21 ounces. My tails with the horn is 5 ounces. And my fuse is 11.2. For a total of 37.7. Then 2 ounces for gear, so 40 ounces.
49.
Ready for tank, muffler, prop, spinner, and muffler.
Is that American ounces or Canadian ounces?
Hey, Len, it doesn't matter. Gear weighs 3 ounces, not 2. Any gear you want to do, 3 ounces.
You're going to be right at 60, but that ought to be a good bird.
Oh, you guys, let me catch up on the chat. Brent Williams says, hi, guys, from Utah. Hey, Brent. And then Tom Ramos says, you can purchase Type On 3 from Menards.
Yeah.
Or Lowe's or Home Depot.
Right, that's what I figured. I've never been in Menards. They don't have them out here in California that I've seen.
Remind me again, why do you like California so much?
I've been here since 61. That's pretty much all I know.
It's home. Yeah.
No snow.
Wow, that's a little jar of.
Hey, Phil, he flew today. That's why he likes it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bob's going to send us all some.
That was my point. We have to give Charles a little bit of a hard time because see, he can fly all year, and the rest of us are at home shivering.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I went flying today. And I don't know how warm it was. It was beautiful outside.
He's bragging again.
Keep it up.
Keep it up, Charles. Back's a booger, buddy.
Keep rubbing my nose in it.
Yeah.
Well, come on down, man. You can move to Florida or California.
Yeah.
I was flying a week ago. Both days, actually. Both days of the weekend.
You can't get across the border, let alone move there.
They won't let you out.
Tennessee right now.
They won't let me out. And if they did, they wouldn't let me back in. So forget it.
Hey, you guys shouldn't complain too much. Your money goes twice as far.
Yeah, it's true. You guys have a lot more money than I do.
Who's got all the money?
How do I flip? How do I flip the camera?
There's on an iPad. There's it's a circle with like 2 little arrows, Bob.
Circle with 2 little arrows.
Yeah.
Oh, I see Sparky's Monado. That is one pretty airplane. You don't.
Yeah,
that picture don't do it justice.
I mean, it's big. Yeah, it's a beautiful plane.
That's a gorgeous airplane. Really pretty.
It's a beautiful airplane, no doubt about it.
One of these days, I want to see Sparky build an ugly airplane. He's never done that.
I don't think he's going to.
I don't think he's capable.
Yeah, he's built too many of them to build an ugly one. Hey, Mark, so how are you doing with the surgery recovery?
Yeah, hanging in there. It's been a rough week, but yeah, I'm on the mend now. So.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that,
Good
Mark.
deal.
I know you had surgery and you had COVID. I mean, you had a double whammy.
Oh, jeez.
They had to cancel the surgery actually, so that's they rescheduled the surgery till March 10th now. So, I got to get over all of this first, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go for my second shot next week. Oh,
good,
man! Good. I'm telling you, people I've talked to that have had that said that the coughing and all is bad, but the fog for about a month is worse.
Huh.
Exactly, the fog and fatigue.
Yeah,
the fatigue is just amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You having any luck there, Bob?
No, I haven't had any luck at all.
Well, you're
get over that mess so we can have that flying day.
I think what the problem might be is I tried it the other night when I was doing it. Let's see if I can get you to be able to see these. I don't know if I can.
I made you big, Jim.
Okay, you see this little symbol right here, right above the button you take pictures with?
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see because it went away. Hang on a second.
Do you have to have a vertical or can it be horizontal?
It doesn't matter. Can you see it now? See the big white button? And it's the button right above it. But I think if you're watching Stunt Hangar, I'm not sure it works. But if I press it, then it'll show me the other side, and I can press it again, and I can come back to the two. But I don't know if you can do it.
I can't get it. I guess it's not important. Just everybody transpose as we do this.
Well, what I did on mine is I set mine up on a tripod. You can buy a mouse for your iPad, and you put it on the tripod, and then you can just spin it around. They're not going to watch you and what you're doing. It's one or the other. So that's what I did. That works good.
I have this thing here.
Yeah, I got one very similar.
But I can't get this thing to go. Oh yeah, I can. There it goes. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna redo this. I have a here. It's gonna fall over.
Don't break that iPad.
That's my wife. What do I care?
Yeah, but I guess that's true.
Hey, John?
Yeah.
There's something scary with the Saginaw, not the Saginaw, with the Pathfinder LE. I got to double check my scale, but it is kind of frightening for the simple reason is that come on, what the hell's going on? I don't know why it's not working.
Where'd you go?
So there it is. What's supposed to be the difference between Type Bond 3 and the other Type Bonds?
What number?
The scary thing about it, John, is as it stands now, as you're looking at it, at least my scale says it's 40 ounces. And that doesn't seem right. After all the repair work. I mean, that's with the engine in it. That's with the engine, the tank, basically all the flying bits and pieces, the landing gear, the wheels. The only thing that isn't in it is a pipe, and of course, there's no covering on it, but it's sitting at like 38. I think it was like 38.8 ounces. Does that sound about right?
With the motor in it.
That's with a OS40 VF in it with the header on it.
Well, you're not bad shape.
Heck no.
You can bring that in. You should easily be able to bring that in under 60 ounces.
Yeah, that's I'm just kind of wondering. You know, I put so much, you know, I put so much CA in there for the repair work, and I couldn't figure out how to help.
Okay.
Huh?
I'm sorry, somebody said something?
No, I just couldn't figure out how to. And I'm like I'm trying to think that I leave something out.
Well, no,
Either that, I got some really good on that RSM kit. I got some really good wood.
Yeah, you're in good shape, I think. I wouldn't worry about it. Just don't, you know, you're going to monocoat it anyway. So you're going to, you know, you're not going to lay a lot of paint on it.
No, not at all. Okay, so I guess it's going to come in a halfway decent way. I was so worried that it was going to turn out to be a total dog.
I understand that, but I don't think so. Mine comes in, I think mine's at like 62, 63 ounces, and it flies like a dream.
Yeah, that's great. Alrighty, just figured I'd like, you know, I did find all the all the balsa wood for the rudder. I couldn't find it for the longest time. I had to dig through like 3 boxes of balsa parts, but I did find all of it. Yes, I've got, you know, the controls are all installed. That's with the motor and a tank, with the wheels, with the landing gear installed. Yeah, okay, so far it's straight, which is scaring me also.
Good.
Let me interrupt you guys. Let me interrupt.
I see Charles got his hand up.
On the chat box, Tom Rammel says Type On 3 is waterproof, Jim.
Okay.
And I'm curious, Tryon, are you ready to do the demonstration?
Yeah.
I know you and I had talked earlier about you doing some demos tonight, so I don't want to have you wait too long when you already arranged this with me. So.
Yeah, it's not a problem. The subject is Kevlar hinges. So if you like pin hinges and stuff like that, just go for it. You know, I like it simple. So long story short, this is where it starts. First, I put some marks where I want to put my hinges at. You see with the tape. Okay, so I'm gonna have 3 hinges on each side. Second thing that I did, I just took an X-Acto knife and I just went down in there and just cut a slot in it.
All right.
Okay, so I did it on both sides. Highly difficult so far, right?
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
good.
I thought so.
I mean, to get in the center of the wood, that's kind of hard, and to keep that blade straight.
So now to the Kevlar. This is 1.7 ounces per square meter or square yard or something like that. It's called Style 120 Kevlar. It's about it's relatively light material. So what I do with it, in Kevlar, like in any fabric, you have some kind of grain to it, right? Which is like it's a wave that goes like this, 90 degrees, right?
Okay.
If you put the hinge in this direction, and this is your hinge line of your stabilizer, you have only half of the strands that work, right?
Okay, right.
If you put it like this, all the strands work.
Right.
Okay? So that's the idea here. So what I do with this, I mean, this is, you can buy a yard of this stuff for about $20, $30, you know, plus shipping. So it's relatively inexpensive if you think about it. But out of a yard of this stuff, you can make hinges like for the rest of your modeling career, basically.
Right.
So, so what I do with it, I just take this is thin CA. I just run it through the fibers, and what this does is it's going to stabilize the Kevlar and hold it in one in the same spot nicely, right? So this is the first thing I do, and you can obviously blot it out after that if you want to. It's really not necessary.
Oh,
Might dry quicker.
Not at
I
all.
don't know.
Wow.
So I'm just doing this.
Now, is that on top
And
of
right
wax
now, this
paper
Kevlar
or?
is sitting on the top of a piece of saran wrap,
Okay,
so it's not going to stick to it. And this is what you get. If you don't do this, Kevlar is very slippery. So I'm trying to cut this corner for you,
Yeah.
just to demonstrate the point. It cuts very hard. Number one, it doesn't like to cut, and then what it does, look at this, it moves everywhere.
Yeah, then those scissors are no good anymore.
Yeah.
See that? And you can move the strands, you can remove them. Look at that. It's a pain in the ass to work with it like this. So that's the idea with the CA. And after that, if you use the CA right now, watch how easy it is to do stuff with it. Just take your scissors, and now you make your Kevlar hinges themselves.
It's very nice.
So if you can see now.
Wow, yeah, nice and stable.
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere. You can move it around, you can play with it, whatever, you know.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna cut my hinges, whatever, about 1 inch wide. Let me just somewhat measure them. So they're gonna, so 2. I'm just gonna glue one side for you guys. The other side is the same.
Right.
Really doesn't matter. Obviously, they don't weigh anything.
Right.
I mean, these hinges are pretty much, if you put them on a scale, probably it's not going to register it unless you have a super fine scale. And what I do here, I'm just cutting the corners off. Just like that.
Okay.
And once I cut the corners off, you can insert them inside here. The corners are just basically so you can insert them easier. And this is kind of why it goes in hard, so it's no big deal.
Hey,
I'm just going to make it. Yes?
It's a great idea, but what's the longevity on that hinge?
They never break.
In how many flights?
As many as you want.
So you think in a few hundred flights you're not going to break?
I doubt it. You're going to have to really, really abuse them. Kevlar is made like that, so I don't know how many flights I have on my plane. It's just I have Kevlar hinges. So I have a little bit of bug here. So what I'm doing, I'm just going back with my razor blade. And that's usually it's enough. The width of the blade is going to split up the wood and spread it out. And here you go.
Yeah, looks good.
Now, Trey, I thought you said you were going to put those at an angle so that you're using both the horizontal and the vertical.
That's true. If you look at my material.
Okay, you cut it at a 45.
I cut it at an angle. The strands go in this direction.
Right.
Okay.
I got it.
So that's.
Yeah, I heard somebody asking about the hinges going bad or potentially going bad. So, are those known to go bad on regular CA hinges? Because I mean that's what I have or usually use is the CA hinges. I can buy it like Hobby King and stuff. So
they are not. The CA hinges are different. Kevlar, it's a much better material. Kevlar is meant to be abused and bent and stuff like that, and it's meant for that purpose only. And it doesn't. It does not go bad per se, right? It's not going to break. The only way you're going to break the Kevlar hinge,
stops bullet.
it's usually if you're not careful. and if you put a knife through it or something like that, or a super heavy crash. But if you do that, probably you don't have a plane anymore. Odds are very high. So you can see a lot of people use these Kevlar hinges in gliders, in RC gliders, because they are so they are so durable. So what I've done, I just installed the hinges in here, right?
Right.
And I'm just gonna take some thin CA and give it a drop. That's gonna kind of stabilize it. So the idea here is that I don't want to pull out or go inside when I come with the elevator in place, right? So right now I'm going to check this for a fit, and for that I'm going to make a new hinge, and I'm going to insert it in the elevator parts just to make sure that it goes in. I don't want to smoosh these guys, so I need to. It's too wide, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, that looks fine. I'm going to cut the corners. Actually, I'm going to use this on the other side as well, right? And this is actually how much time it takes to do something like this. So I'm just going to put inside. There it is. It went in nicely. Yep, this is going to slide in nicely. And I'm going to double check all of them. And perhaps with Kevlar hinges, this is about the biggest.
Brandon, was that you was talking about the CA hinges going bad?
Yeah, I was asking about those.
Yeah, no, they are too stiff. The CA hinges are always very stiff, and they never loosen
I
up.
haven't really.
So right here on this one in the center, I have a little bit of a, a little bit of a resistance. So you can take the back side of your X-Acto knife and drag it this way. So it kind of scrapes a little bit on the balsa. I mean, yeah. So it's going to loosen it up just ever so slightly. You don't need a whole lot. All right. So here we go. I'm going to remove this wire. I'm going to just leave it on this side. And here we go. Kind of go like this. I'm going to work from one end. Can do a little seesawing kind of thing. Okay, that's it. So you have to be patient here a little bit. Yep, it's in. It slipped out of the other ones. It doesn't matter. There you go.
Eventually you get it.
Yeah, sooner or later you're going to get it.
There you go.
And it's all inside. You can just check this, make sure it's right. And
nice and tight. It looks good.
I'm just pushing it all the way in. You can see it's like it's already fairly loose, right? And what I like to do here, this is a piece of cardboard I just found here in my pile of scrap and whatever. I'm just going to cut a couple of lengths. This is my spacer, right?
Okay.
I'm going to insert them here, one on this end, one on this other end. So what I'm doing, I'm pushing in until I bottom out on the cardboard, and I'm going on a slight angle like this. I'm going to double check. Yep, that looks good. And I'm going to just put a drop of CA in here. Boom. Push it in. Okay. I'm going to do this other end the same way. Push them in relatively. Drop of CA in there. Hold it nice and tight. And the middle. And now I can remove my spacers. And basically this side it's installed. You can add more CA to make sure it wicks in there and it's nice and hard. Don't have to worry about CA being in a Kevlar at all, because once you start to move it, so this is pretty stiff right now. It's not exactly that loose, right?
Right.
It kind of stays there, right? But once this dries up and you start to move it, what happens in there? The CA starts to break down, and it's going to start to crack, and it's going to get
Just
out
like
of the
a slot.
Kevlar eventually. And the more you use it, the more you flex it, the looser it gets.
Wow.
And this is the stiffest you'll ever get it. And no hinge pockets. You don't have to cut anything fancy. Pretty much they last the life of the plane.
Easier to cover that
They're
way,
not
too.
as stiff as the other one, the CA hinges that you guys were talking about. So you just have to work it out. What?
Or just
What weight is the Kevlar?
This is 1.7. Here, I'm going to give you a link into this is style 120. It's 34 strands by 34 strands. It's 1.7 plane width. So even right now, this is pretty loose, you know. But the more you flex it, the more you work it like this. After that, whenever it dries up, you just work it, and it's even a little bit forgiving when you install it. If you are you're not exactly in line with the hinges in here, it's really not a big deal, because it's usually works out just fine. So this is my 2 cents into the Kevlar hinges.
Very nice.
Simple. I mean, it's so easy. I mean, you just cover your plane. If you make a plane that's just with the tissue and dope, you just make it normally. You just skip the hinge pockets altogether. And that's. I'm gonna give you this link right now. Give me a second. So I'm gonna copy this link. It's Sweet Composites. If you go to the Sweet Composites, because they are sweet kind of guys, you know. So here you go. Message, chat, paste. There you go. Look for the style 120.
All right. Hey, very good. Very good.
That's that. And actually, just now I started
Style
to put them in.
120?
As you can see, after I did that demonstration with the paint, all I did, I just cut the pockets already with an X-Acto knife. Done.
Wow.
I mean, it's really simple.
Now on the did you on the Revolutions have a whole span of the flap? You just kind of did the whole thing.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But that's done in a mold, right? And obviously, you can put more than 3 here if you want to. Nobody's stopping you from doing a whole wing. You can also use this at the same time when you do your flaps. You might have 2 pieces of balsa wood. Put the Kevlar in between them, glue them together, build your flaps, wing or stuff like that, and then put the V in it, right? And the hinge is already there. And you can paint on top of it. Don't worry about it at all. Paint on top of it. It's fine.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
So yeah, if you want to go on that route too, yeah. So, all right.
So, in the chat box, you provided the website and the link to purchase it. And how much does it cost for like for a yard? You said.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. That's a good idea.
They are per yard, style of 120.
So what you're saying is build the flap and put the Kevlar in as you're building it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And you might want to start with the 2 square sticks maybe look like two square sticks on top of each other, and put the V on the other side. And then you build the rest of the. You might want to build the flaps first, and then attach this to the back of the wing. Build your wing normally. Paint, put tissue on top of it. It really doesn't matter. And after that, if you want to do that, and you have a lot of glue on top of it, what I used a hacksaw blade, and you just go on top of it with a hacksaw blade and go like that, like you cut the crud, the excess paint, whatever is over there. Just basically you file it down. And if this is too tight, you feel like it's gonna be it's kind of a tight hinge. What you can also do, get a bad X-Acto knife blade and file the. Let me see. Here, just a regular blade, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna file it and dull it out. Just make it pretty dull. You don't want it to cut, that's all. And you go with the back side of it. I'm kind of holding it like this. You see that? Maybe a little bit of angle. And you just drag it backwards. Like
You're
this.
just trying to free up the.
And that's going to crack the glue inside of it.
Okay, yeah.
Like that. And I'm doing it on this side as well.
So how loose is it now?
It's pretty loose right now. You can also, it's already dropped it by itself.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And you can just stay like that and just do like this with it, just a bunch of times. The more you do it, the better it's gonna get.
Okay.
Like this.
Pretty neat, Trey.
Very good.
Good idea.
And you have nice.
It's a lot easier.
Nice close.
It's a lot easier than regular hinges and hinge pockets and all that crap.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want to do it the easy way, you can do it this way. But choice is yours.
I'll have to get some. I'll try that.
You won't be sorry, Bill.
It's definitely worth a try.
Well, try it on a bad plane, or if you have a plane that has bad hinges in it.
Yeah.
Cut them out, take them out, try this.
Yeah, exactly. It only takes a minute to get the old ones out.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even have to get them out. Just put them in a different location. Just cut the old ones off and put them in a different location.
Look at this. I just work it out a little bit.
Yeah.
You see how it drops by itself?
Yeah, it's getting there.
It was a little bit stiffer. Before it wasn't even like that. Like.
Yeah.
So you just have to work it out a little bit. That's all. That's about the worst part of it. It's just you have to work them out a little bit. And the more you work them out, the more the glue inside of them cracks down and breaks down. And once you get just the Kevlar fibers, it's as loose and as smooth as any pin hinge.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
Really.
Very good.
So
thank you,
so
Tryon.
I guess this concludes my lesson on Kevlar hinges, how to install them.
Thank you very much.
That's
And you
neat,
can do one more, cutting down the mold shells, right?
What was that?
You're gonna do another demo on showing us how to cut the molded shells.
You know,
like you make the molds.
Block.
No, you said you're gonna show us how to cut the molded shells. Remember you mentioned that?
Yes. Yeah. I have the molded shells here, so yes.
You see how Bob Hunt's doing. Hey, Bob, how's it going?
I used Trans technique for cutting molded shells last week.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Hey, that looks good, Bob.
He put it on Stunt Hangar a while back.
Hey, Ed. Thanks for coming in, Ed Carlisle. And let me catch up on the chat box, you guys. Just give me a second here. Mark Woodman, he said earlier that he can't seem to stay logged in. So he's here now.
Maybe it's
but,
in now. Maybe it's in
you
now.
leave at any time, right? And then, oh man, the last chat, I can't read that language. Looks like it's. I'm so sorry, whoever you are. I can't say what. I can't repeat what you're saying. Hopefully, it's. I don't know. Sorry.
Hopefully, it's something nice.
Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Howard, how you been?
All right.
Hey,
I have to
Steve.
tell Samantha that I seen you on the Hangouts.
Say hi.
I will.
It looks Russian.
Yeah, it is Russian, I think, or Ukrainian. So, Bob, you have the floor.
Okay. Sorry, Bob. Did I bump into you?
I want to take you through the whole process real quick. A number of people have asked me about how I get the edges so back made up so well. All right, this is a 3/64 balsa wood, and I'm going to get a straight edge here. And you're going to line it, take about a little less than a 16th off the edge. Can you all see this okay now?
Yep. Looks good.
No,
Just speak a little louder, Bob. That might be helpful.
Okay, I'll do the best I can. You gotta trim the edges. Use 2 or 3 cuts so you don't, it doesn't break out. You slice it off. Reverse it and do the same thing on the other side.
I think he's done this before.
Once or twice.
I don't
Only
think so.
Only a few 100,000 times.
Right.
Only that much?
And that's
Once or twice.
We need somebody with more experience.
53 years. 53 years of doing this. Okay, now to make sure this nice and square, I use a permagrit sanding bar. All right, can you read that?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are expensive. They're about 50.
Somebody is echoing. I think Steve Hines.
Once or twice.
We need somebody with more experience.
Yeah, we're getting a loop. It sounds like.
And I use
a permagrit sanding bar. Right? Can you read that?
Nice. Yeah. You need to mute your mic. I mean, mute your YouTube tab.
Steve Hines.
Bob, you got any earbuds?
Mute Steve Hines.
I'll try that. Hang on a second.
I muted myself and it didn't change anything.
I'll try it. You need to mute your mic. Do you have YouTube on in the background, Ed Carlisle?
No.
Okay. Sounds quiet now, Bob. Go ahead. Let's try it again.
Get back on screen there so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So I use permagrit sanding bar. I have a piece of 3/4 inch wood here. I can put the permagrit up against the edge of that, put the balsa against that, and use a sanding bar with about 150 grit paper as a pusher. And then you can sand the edges of the balsa wood.
Nice.
Oh, that's slick.
That's very slick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do like 200 or 300 sheets at a time, like trimming and then sanding them. It takes the whole day to do a whole bunch of wood. Okay, so then we have our wood already trimmed and sanded. Now I'm not going to actually cut these because I already have the skins laid out for this wing, but I'll go over the technique. Just give me a second here.
You might want to mention the cap you got on the leading edge there.
What's that? The leading edge cap?
Yeah.
What about it?
Well, that works great on foam wings like yours, but it also works good when you're using a millennial wing built up.
Yeah, you can make molded shells to go on a built-up wing, sure. Okay, yeah. So what I do now is I take the masking tape, and I'll put a piece of wood in here, and I'll push it up tight against the leading edge cap, and I'll tape it. And then I will trim it at the end, normally, 1/4 inch outside the wing on either end. And then I stick another piece in. And you line that up. And again, you trim it. And you keep doing this until the entire wing is covered. Okay, and you trim here, and you trim the about 1/8 of an inch outside the trailing edge. Turn it over, you can see.
Nice.
You can trim that down. Okay, so now let's say we have our skins joined with masking tape. And ironically enough, we actually have a set of skins for this wing joined with masking tape. Let me get over to it. Let me go get them. All right, this is the skins that are going to be used on that wing. It's an imitation wing by a guy named Ted Fancher. Anybody ever hear of him?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's how you make skins.
The bee killer.
My problem is that my sheets with broken cross grain, not with the grain.
Now I have these pieces of wood taped together in 3 places, and it's it's kind of loosey goosey here. You can see.
Yep,
So
and
what
you're
we're
going to
gonna
beat a
do
glue
is
down in the joint.
we're going to peel the tape off the front section. I'm going to get some weights here. I'm going to put weights about 3/4 of an inch behind the edge of the wood and feed in the next piece of balsa wood and hold it down with some weights. Tightening that joint absolutely tight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I'm going to take a piece of masking tape and run right down that joint.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then you move the weights back and you do the next one the same way.
Yep.
Make sure it's down nice and flush against the skin. This is the top of the skin. This is with the outside, not what's going down towards the core.
Right.
And you do the last little piece here, the little inset piece to finish it up. Okay, so now you work it down nice and tight. And then you're going to, I'll trim the edges here a little bit with masking tape. Okay, so now you have it where you can tent peak it. You can actually bend it back like this.
Tight bond 3.
This is that new technique. Now we're going to use the Tight Bond 3, and you can go online and you can find a product called a Monoject 412.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little syringe.
Yep.
A nice little fine curved point. And we're going to take Tight Bond 3.
One more sloppy than that.
We're going to fill the syringe up with Tight Bond 3. Anybody need a vaccination?
Had one today.
Is that that hasn't been filled, has it, Bob?
And now I invert this, and I get all the air out of there.
Okay.
Keep pushing up against it, against the paper towel, so you don't make a mess. So there you go.
Did you hear John,
That's full
Bob?
strength.
And now you got it ready to go. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little pieces of masking tape across the back 2 seams so they can't bend. I'm going to put a piece of metal in the back here. I'm going to tent peak the forward one. Everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you want to be at the Tight Bond 3.
On the seam.
Right down the little V. And then you take a piece of paper towel and wipe off all the excess.
Do the next one.
And then pull tape across.
Marvelous. What a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now you take the next.
I do the same thing with sheeted foam wings, just back a little bit backwards. The same deal.
Now we're going.
I do the skin first, then trim it.
Shut up.
Very nice.
Top down flat.
Collapse that down. Take a paper towel. Wipe it down.
Put some weight on it. Let it dry.
Wow.
So what do you find the advantage of the Tite Bond 3 is, Bob, if all it is just waterproof?
I like the way it sands better.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it takes a little longer to cure, which gives you better silk in the joint.
Yeah.
It's a stronger joint. Well, I just like it. It's just a very friendly glue.
Plus, you try to do that with CA. Forget about it. If you make one little mistake, you're set. You throw the whole thing out.
Well, I used to do it with CA years ago.
Don't even bother.
Is that a 12 milliliter syringe, Bob?
CA. But I got away with it for years with CA because I had a technique of doing it, which I can show you if you want to see that technique. But this is so much better that I just don't see any need to go back to that technique again. Okay, so
plus you're adding more weight with the CA.
There's your skin all.
Yep, there's a skin. Yep.
And you can see how perfect that, that's going to be nice. It's perfectly joined underneath the tape, and you just let that dry.
Yep.
And now, when you get done with that, here's a set of skin for Elliot Scott's wing. This is a set of skins for Elliot Scott's wing. These are joined.
Bingo bango.
These are joined, and then they've been sanded. The bottom.
Perfectly smooth.
The bottom of the skin that goes towards the core has been sanded nice and smooth. You don't have to sand the top because once you peel that tape off, there's no seam at all. You lightly sand it once it's on the core and it's done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then what I do is I take Suave hairspray or Aquanet, whatever is the cheapest hairspray you can buy, and make sure that you get the unscented kind because you don't want your airplane to smell like a French whore. or maybe you do. At any rate,
unless you're flying diesels.
After you sand the skin, you put a thin coat of this on the skin because this is a cheap lacquer and it will seal the grain so you won't put some epoxy on.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So these are ready to join.
Cool.
I'm ready to skin a wing. Now, if you want, I can skin a wing for you tonight too. Or, if you just want to BS for a while, that's up to you guys. I don't care.
Well, what kind of glue are you using to actually for the skin?
See it skinned.
I'm using Epoxy finishing resin.
Okay.
I've tried every conceivable glue in the world. I had a glue salesman come to my company, Control Specialties, over the years and demonstrate their wares. And I've tried all the different kinds of contact cements, which are way too heavy. And I found that the Epoxy finishing resin or Easy Lam or West Systems or any of them, if they're applied properly, are the lightest way to cover a foam wing and the strongest way.
Make sure you get it all off. You won't think that it will stick. There won't be anything on it. And then just wait. When you go to take you card the glue off, then you take paper towels and you dry the entire skin till it's completely dry. You wouldn't think that it was going to stick, but they do.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What you want to do is you want to make a little scraper that has tiny little notches in it about every 5/16.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And after you get your skin, your glue spread on your skin, you go cordwise across the skin and you leave the tiniest little rivulets going chordwise, and that grids out the grain. You don't want to go with the grain, because if you miss a spot and you get out in the heat, it'll tent peak. But if you grid it out like little tiny rivulets or little ribs, it'll hold the skin down and it'll never pop up on you. Don't ask me how I know.
Bob, have you ever used Tom Dixon? You know, he skins a lot of wings, and he would use finishing resin before, and now he's switched over to Gorilla Glue.
I've tried Gorilla Glue. I don't like it.
Okay.
I've tried it. It
His
works.
is more about how the technique that he uses to stick it in there. It's kind of the same theory that you do, is that you want just little rivulets of it that, you know, go across the grain. So
yeah, I've tried it. I don't like it as well. It's a little heavier, my estimation, and it doesn't give you as much working time. I can do 2 skins, top and bottom, with the Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
You're hard pressed to get one without having it start to foam on you.
Yeah.
I don't like the Gorilla Glue, but you know, if he likes it, that's fine. But I can guarantee you, I've covered more. I bet I've covered more wings, more foam wings than probably anybody in the world. I've been doing this for 53 years.
Yeah. Hey Bob, the peanut gallery, they want you to continue showing your methods.
You want to continue?
Dennis B says, great show, Bob. Brent Williams says, Bob, keep showing your methods. Tom Rammel says, tell Bob we want to see him skin the wing.
All right, well, let's tell you what. Why don't you guys be in for a couple minutes while I get set up, okay?
I can show you that set of plans I was talking about earlier. Well,
I'm out here, guys. I got a long ride. Good night.
Hey, good night. Hey, thanks, Sparky.
Okay.
Nice,
Hey, Sparky, do you want to do a little shout out what you're going to be doing tomorrow? For those that are watching, they might tune in tomorrow.
I'm not doing anything but driving tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
That's
Where you headed, Sparky?
Thanks for coming in, Sparky.
Sparky.
I will post a link to the T-shirts though for this year.
Oh, that's right.
Sparky, where are you headed tomorrow?
Back to Dayton.
Yeah.
And I see you translated the Russian Sparky. Is that right?
Yeah.
He says very nice to see you. I guess he's talking about all of us. I don't know how to say his name.
See you too.
Says, I guess he's really enjoying this. So, well, you're most welcome. Hopefully you understand what I just said.
Charles, you want me to bring up that set of plans I talked about earlier?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. They should be coming up.
This is the night you're
minutes.
glad you didn't miss. Oh, that's sharp.
Wow, looks good. Oh, it's quick. This is the one that's Nostalgia 30 legal.
You can get your shirt there at that link.
Yeah, it's Nostalgia 30 legal now.
Hang on, Sparky. Let me see here. You got it in the clubhouse?
It's in
YouTube. Phil, for you, this is that twister.
I got it,
I'm
Sparky.
looking at it. Thank you, Sparky.
We got 2 different ones on there.
Phil, this is that twister sister you were.
Yeah, that's sharp. I've never seen that before. Where'd it go?
Okay, this is not the one that you saw fly at somebody's.
No, never seen this before.
Where'd it go?
This is sharp. Bring this back. Bring it back.
Wait, it went away?
Okay.
I still see it.
Yeah, I got a black screen.
I got it.
I got a green dot with JM in it. That's it.
It's a full body. Basically, it's a full body fancherized twister.
That looks really good.
Basically, it's set up. It's set up with a stick and stringer type construction. It uses an RC type mount and firewall up here.
I can't see it, but yeah.
This is my little way of
neat looking.
Anyway.
Yeah, just watch the
Okay, well,
replay.
anyway, that was my first published drawing.
Nice. Looks
And
good.
it was also a hand drawing. Just before I got ready to get into CAD, learning CAD, this was the last drawing I did by hand.
Wow, that is done by hand. That looks like it was done by machine.
So, no, that was done by hand.
Good. Good.
This is the first one. I sent a letter to Bob Hunt there, and a letter to the editor of Model Builder. And the guy at Model Builder answered me,
More than one way to
asked
skin
if
a
they
cat.
would publish it or wanted to publish it. He got back to me. The guy from Model Builder came back first, so I had to send a letter to Bob and let him know. And Bob was good about it. He said, that's okay. I kind of felt bad. Anyway, I'll get it out of here. It sounds like Bob is getting ready to go.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. I got a couple of things to do yet.
I just put a recall on.
I
Say what?
What
I
engine is
cheated.
that?
I found it on my telephone.
I had a KMB 28 Sportster in it.
Okay.
And that worked good at lower altitudes, but when I came up here to 4,600 feet, didn't have enough wing to carry for that little motor to haul around. Plus, it wasn't making near the power it was making at lower altitude. So, if you have any wonders about it, I'd stick with it. 35, 40 size. Though, if I was at 600 to 1,000 feet max, I'd still use a little KB 28 on a 10-4 or a 9-4 3-blade or a 10-4 2-blade. It ran, running it in, so it was the high RPM, low pitch mode. So it did well.
I don't want to interrupt, John, but I
Won a couple of contests with it in the Midwest. Go.
Go ahead, Bob.
I'm going to jump in here.
Go for it.
Put me on screen there. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I'm going to use
Make it big.
I'm going to use an acid brush here to brush some of the epoxy on the edges of the wing, on the trailing edge, and on the spar in the wing, and just a couple places. But acid brushes are notorious for shedding their bristles.
Yes.
So
Yes.
one of the things you can do is take some thin CA and put some down in the bezel and glue the bristles into the bezel of the acid brush, and then the bristles won't come out again.
Great idea.
Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for. Sorry about that, John. Sorry about that, John.
That's all right. That's okay, boss.
Actually, I'm pretty much ready to get
Hey, what's
started.
that drawing I see on the wall back there? What do you got going there? Tape to the back there.
The what?
The little airplane drawing you got on the back there. What is that?
I think it's a photograph. I've been flying
No, below that.
Model.
Below it.
This one?
Oh, below
No,
that.
the drawing.
Oh, that's just a little
There.
sketch of a 30s racer I'm thinking about doing.
Ah.
I'll take you over to it.
I'm going to throw up.
Ooh. That
Oh,
looks
that's
nice,
beautiful.
Bob.
There you
Radio cow.
It's just one of 14,000 little concept drawings,
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay,
Bob,
now,
you have the most beautiful profiles on a plane.
get ready.
I mean, if you look from the side view of your planes they are just beautiful, all of them.
They're kind of sexy, actually.
They are beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that is sexy about anything that I do.
I've heard that.
All right, here we go. Now we're gonna get this ready. All right, I have a little 1-inch mixing cups, which I have marked for 35 size wings and 40 size wings and 60 size wings. So I know how
Wow.
much epoxy to make. So I'm gonna make this one the 40 size wing. So I'm gonna pour out some water up to the 40 line. I'm going to put that into a mixing cup, and I'm going to mark the edge of the mixing cup where that water is. And then I'm going to put another one in up to the 40 line because this is a 50-50 mix.
And how many minutes epoxy is that, Bob?
This is epoxy finishing resin, so it takes about 6 hours to cure, and you get about 25 minutes of working time, which is plenty for what we're going to do. All right, so if you see, I've put marks.
Wow.
What was that? I missed.
I said
Your bare belly. We can't
one
unsee
anymore.
that. Your bare belly there, bud.
One at a time. Oh, okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the epoxy in. And here's what I do. I use the part B first because it's colored, and I can see when I'm putting in I put this in first up to the first line. As you can see here.
Very good.
And then I put the next in, and that makes it the clear stuff you really can't see. But if you have the colored stuff in there first, you know, the yellow stuff, then you can see where you're going here. Don't ask me how I know.
Yeah, how do you know, Bob?
From years of experience. I lost that little cap. I'll find it here somewhere. There it is. All right, now mix. And when, like everybody knows, when you mix epoxy, you don't do that much mixing. You mix the epoxy.
Mm-hmm.
You mix it for a couple of minutes to really get it completely in solution. And that's one of the reasons some people have problems with epoxy is they don't mix it enough.
Right.
So you mix and mix and mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. Now, while I'm doing this, let me explain the core. The core I have over here ready to cover. It's got the leading edge cap on it. It's got a spar in it. It's got a trailing edge cap on it. And it's been vacuumed. I vacuumed several times during the process. After you sand the foam, you want to make sure you get all the dust out of the foam. Because you don't want to glue the dust to the wood. You want to glue the foam to the wood.
Right.
So you vacuum them until they're scrupulously clean. Okay.
Yeah, because if you have dust in there, you're gonna glue the dust, not the skin.
What I just said. Yeah. All right. So now I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna put some right down the spar line. Very thin coating there. And along the root of the wing, in about an inch. Can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And on the same thing on the tip end. And then along the trailing edge cap, a very light coating of epoxy as well. Not much, just a little bit. This stuff doesn't require much.
So a little extra on the edges, on the hard spots where you need more strength.
And over the spar. Okay, now next step is you want to put some on the leading edge of the skin that's going to go up against the leading edge cap. So you edge glue. You put them along this edge.
Interesting.
Okay. Then we're going to pour some epoxy out onto the skin. And we're going to work it around with this little scraper that has little notches, very, not very deep, about not even a 64th of an inch deep notches, about every 5/16 of an inch. And you're going to work the epoxy around till you get the whole skin covered.
Like a mason, it's like a masonry trowel that's got the little notches in it.
Yeah.
And you work it around, and then you're going to make sure you get it off the edges. And you want to hold the skin so you don't actually let it get over onto the wood, the glue that's getting off onto the paper here. You get your whole skin covered. And then you're going to go cord-wise and push down hard and get off all the epoxy you can between the rivulets, between the little notches.
Mm.
And this leaves little tiny rivulets that will be like little ribs, that rivets. You know, they keep the skin from popping up, and you do them cord-wise so they're not in the same direction as the grain.
Mm.
Because if they're in the same direction as the grain and you miss the spot, then it could pop up after it heats up out in the sun. And you can go over it several times because you don't need much. Like what he said.
Oh, he locked up. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
When you get all done getting it as much off as you can with little rivulets in there, then you candle it to make kind of hold it up and look at it to make sure everything's covered, but no more than
Dry
required.
spots.
Very nice.
Okay, now turn this here. Now we're going to put the skin onto the core and leave a 1/4 inch on either end. And actually, I made a little messy here.
You're not wearing gloves.
Didn't have a mask on either.
I can't work with gloves. Okay. And then we're going to tape we're going to pull the skin tight against the leading edge cap. Starting in the center and we're working out on either side. Tape about every inch or two. Pull that thing tight against that cap.
Hey, Bob, what did your neighbor think about coming out in the morning and finding this patio was gone?
His what?
His patio.
Patio.
I see all the patio stones. I said, what did your neighbor think about when he came out and his patio was gone?
Oh, that's where we got the foam bricks from. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foam bricks work great. You know, they don't damage the balsa wood, and you can weight things down with them. And make sure everything's nice and tight, pulled in very tight against the leading edge cap, because you don't want any seam there.
Isn't there a chance of crushing the foam if you like go overboard with this?
No, not really. Okay, now we'll put this as the bottom skin. Now we're going to flip this over. So weight this down just to hold it against the skin while I get the other skin prepared. Clean off the paper to be no excess epoxy here to get on the wood. And again, I'm going to go over there and thumb on the.
The beauty with foam wings, even with prep and getting the balsa sheets all squared up and everything, you can do an entire wing in an evening.
What's that?
No, that's the beauty of foam wings. Even with, you know, prepping the skins and getting the sheeting and stuff, other than your dry time, you can finish a set of wings in an evening.
Well, pretty much. You can get them sheeted in an evening. You can let them sit overnight, to cure.
Oh no, I'm saying, that's just, for drying. I'm just, outside of drying time. It takes you longer than that just to start framing up a built-up wing.
Well, you got to cut the cord, you got to put spar in, and you got to put the trailing edge cap on, make the leading edge cap, and put the landing gear clips in, and if you have landing gear in the wing. There's some stuff to do,
Oh no, absolutely, but that's what I just love. Plus, if you do it right, you can end up with a perfectly straight wing. And the weight penalty, I never saw much of a weight penalty, if you ask me.
No, I'm sold on foam wing. Now, if you notice, the one thing I'm working on over there is a piece of granite. I went and bought a piece of granite, and it's worth the expenditure to go find a piece that's broken on the ends. This has a little broken end on it, but it's dead flat. And I indicated it when I put it against the table under weight to make sure it stayed flat. And then, you can make sure that you have a straight wing. You don't get any bows or twists in the wing.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to do the last one.
You got that granite sitting on top of some blue foam, is that right, Bob?
I got it on top of some Depron, yeah.
Yeah.
That even, you know, takes up any irregularities. And then I take
Right.
I did a straight edge across it in all different directions and weighted it down and then did it that way too. So it's pretty straight.
Good idea.
Yeah. A lot of things have been covered on that piece of granite, let me tell you. And again, just go cord wide, take off all the excess epoxy, leaving just little rivulets.
Is granite always flat?
I'm sorry?
Is granite always flat? Can you count on it on being flat?
No, you can't. You can't count on it. That's just the point. You can't count on it being flat. I think it's what they call Blanchard ground. Is that right, Howard?
Huh?
They Blanchard ground to be flat, but it's not always necessarily flat. You got to check it to make sure it is flat.
No.
Another thing that works good, and I just got some of, is regulation pool table slate. It's very heavy, but it's very flat. Okay, so now you got your skin. And again, I checked to make sure. Get over here now. You're going to like this next part I'm going to do here in a minute. Pull it down nice and tight. I found a place called Tape Jungle. Anybody ever hear of that company, Tape Jungle?
No.
No.
I tell you, I've been using 3M masking tape for years, and it's very expensive. And I tried this Tape Jungle tape, which is about a third of the cost of the 3M tape, and it's better. I like it better for model building. Tape Jungle. You can buy like 40 rolls of it for like $48.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, so we're just about ready now to get this thing under weight. We'll turn it around and we line it up in the cradle to make sure it's dead nuts lined up all the way around. Put the top cradle piece on, line it up. I put a little weight in here just to hold out while I check the other end. Then I get a flat board. Carefully put it on. And here's the fun part.
Vacuum bag. No. Whoa! Big brick.
Big paver.
Have you tried vacuum bagging?
I don't like vacuum bagging 1 pound foam, especially if you have an open bay, an open thing in the front where you put the landing gear, it'll crush it. If you get enough atmosphere.
You can crush stuff real easy with vacuum bagging.
Vacuum bagging works for a lot of things, but I don't like it for this.
What happens is the white foam, it's an open cell foam.
Wow.
It's not a closed cell foam, and it will collapse under pressure.
Right.
When you do vacuum bagging, if you use blue foam, that is very good for vacuum bagging. I use maximum pressure on that one because it's a closed cell foam.
This is with a pressure regulator.
These kind of weights now.
Why don't you just drive your Chevy onto it?
It's an 800-pound ape in the middle of the room.
Wow, Bob, I had no idea you used that much weight.
Yeah.
That's it?
This next
Oh, he's got one left.
And now you look at the wing, you say, "Whoa, snap! He's not aligned perfectly."
Wow, that's a lot of weight.
Can I get an idea? I'll hold this up so you can see.
Can you turn that down a little bit?
It's down.
Damn.
Have you ever weighed that, Bob, to see what it weighs actually?
It's over 300 pounds.
Holy shit.
Wow, that's impressive.
I mean, I put skins on wings and never put that much weight on them. I mean, gee, I think it's well.
Well, you know, if you think
Wow.
about it, the pounds per square inch is not that much. Now, I take 2 pieces of basswood, 1/8 inch by 3/8 inch basswood, and they go up over the trailing edge cap, which sticks out behind the wing. And then I go to the dollar store, and I get these little clamps. These little clamps for holding potato chip bags closed.
Yeah.
And I'll put those. I'll put one with a strip
Damn.
and one on the top over the trailing edge, and I clamp these.
And he's already taped it.
Let me get down and see what I'm doing. I'll move this around here in a minute so you can see this.
Wow.
Any more weight, he'd be creating diamonds.
You can see where. Can you put me back on there?
Oh, you are. You never moved. You're big, Bob.
Yep.
Oh, I'm
You're
big.
full screen.
Very ingenious using those
These are clamps.
paper, those clips. Very ingenious.
Yeah, yeah. And then you let it set overnight, and you got yourself a wing. You trim it and sand it, and then you core it out.
Super. That's great, Bob.
That's just scary.
That is impressive.
Can you do it any faster than that next time?
That was pretty fast.
Bob, we're messing with you.
That's all right.
If you have a 300 square inch wing, that's about 1 psi.
Yeah,
I missed it. Can you do it again?
Bob used to he hangs out with Billy Worley.
I've never had one collapse. So
Moving 300 and some odd pounds of weight, just for a set of wings. Well, actually, that's only one wing. That's only half a wing. You have to figure he's got to do the other side. So that's 600 pounds of weight. Yeah, he keeps in shape.
And I do this.
Wow, it's really impressive.
I've been doing this for 53 years.
Very impressive.
My life. So
Good deal, Bob.
That's how I cover wings.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Bob. That's very impressive.
As long as I have my wife's iPad tonight, I'm going to give you a quick tour of my shop.
Oh, great.
All right, here we go. All right, this is my blanking bench over here. That's where I blank the wings out with this bow. At the top view plan form blanking is done over here. There's some walls of stock, some foam stock. There's my little humbug up on the wall up there.
Nice.
Howard?
Hey, Bob, are you using that air conditioner right now?
Not right now. Howard, are you there? Howard?
Who?
Howard.
Howard?
Hello, Howard. Howard?
He's there, but his camera's off.
I think
Dr. Howard, Dr. Ryan, Dr. Howard.
Well, Howard and I are both David Lindley fans. Howard,
There he is.
Here's a lap steel guitar built by Jeff Traxler and signed by David Lindley.
Wow.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Well, David Lindley is Jackson Brown's lap steel player, so Howard and I both like him. Here's my new.
Howard, you're muted. Turn on your sound.
That's my new Genesis LCWTDD.
Wow, looks beautiful, Howard. Looks beautiful.
Stands for Genesis Last Chapter.
Yeah, that's
with
Genesis.
Genesis Last Chapter with Pervulator Doodads.
Nice.
Very nice. Again, that
Well,
plane
that's
looks sexy.
Say
also.
something, Howard. Here's a few of the mold bucks we've used to mold fuselage.
Joe Nothing.
There's a few fuselage crutches. Here's my rack for airplanes.
Wow, nice.
Nice rack, Bob.
Nice rack. Here's some more balsa stock over here.
I don't think you have enough balsa there.
And
Yeah.
well, I got a lot
I
more
need
than
a
that.
couple
I think you got too much.
4-inch-by-16.
This is my new acquisition. This is a drum sander, 1632 drum sander jet, so I can drum sand all that balsa wood that's the wrong thickness down to the right thickness.
Wow, nice.
That's my bandsaw.
Nice.
So anyway, there's my another rack with wood in it and light ply and the other things like my glues and stuff are up there.
Wow. Yeah, you got a lot of resin there.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to keep it in stock.
Yeah,
And then
very nice.
This other room over here is Robbie's shop. Let me get the lights on in here. This is my son's shop in here.
Very nice.
Here's the Tucker Special.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
A real quick look, and I'm not a long look. That's his new canard, and there's my plans, my plans directory.
Wow.
More balsa wood up there, more wood down here. So that's a quick tour of my shop.
Very nice.
Yeah. Sweet.
Very nice.
Impressive, but I think you got too much balsa there, Bob. You could send some out to us.
Very,
you
very
saw
nice.
a fraction of it. All the good stuff is put away so nobody can see it. And Robbie calls all that good wood. He calls that his inheritance.
His inheritance, yeah. Yeah, let me do a little commercial break here. Gerald Wilmer says, thanks, Bob and Tryon and Sparky for sharing your knowledge with us. And I ditto that. Appreciate that very much, you guys. I think you answered this already, Bob. You said that all the weight was around 300 pounds, right? That was per panel?
Yeah. 250, 300 pounds, whatever it takes, you know.
Okay, so he asked that.
I just stack up everything I have on top of it.
Hey, Bob, though, that's
I'm not
before
done
you...
yet. Hang on a second. So we have 26, actually 28 current viewers. We have 18 likes, and we have 0 chat revenue, 0 memberships, 0 subscriptions. So please consider contributing and donating. That's so important. And I think this is a great show. This is the typical quality we'd like to bring, and please contribute to the cause. And we're going to be transitioning pretty soon to our after party, and sometimes the after party is even better than the live portion of the show.
Trey, don't
I got one more.
Oh, that's right. Trion's going to show us how to cut the sheeting from the molding, right?
The shells, yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
hey, Bob, though, before that, you put all that weight on a non-cored wing, isn't it? You core that after it's done?
After it's sanded.
Yeah, okay. Because if you get a cord, wing from Bob, a cord wing can't take 300 pounds on it, can it? Without.
Yeah, you can put about that much weight on it. It's not going to hurt it. It's spread out. It doesn't crush.
You have to leave the cores inside it, right, Bob?
No, that's a misnomer because the cords are so loose when you cut them out because of the melt, because of the the kerf of the wire. so to speak, that you have to push them through pretty far to get any kind of support from them. I wouldn't, maybe you put on 2/3 that amount of weight, but still, you weight it down pretty good. You got to get it down against the foam.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, just a second, guys. I want to recognize Gerald. Hang on a second. Hey, Gerald, thank you so much. Gerald just donated to the super chat, and Gerald, you've made so many donations over the years. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And other people, please step up and help out because Gerald I've seen over the years lots of money that he's donated, and little bits at a time. So you don't have to do a whole lot, but please contribute. Please contribute. It really is important that you do, and to show us that you value what we're doing. And don't forget to share and like and subscribe. And also the memberships are only $4.99 a month. But like Gerald just did, he did his super chat. It's just a one-time thing. You don't have to see it come out of your account again. So please consider doing that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tryon. I think we're going to be Tryon, right?
All right, so here we go.
There we go.
All right, so I showed you how I molded the part, but then I have to cut it. And if you look on the vector plans, it's a 1 inch on the front and it's a 1/2 inch on the back. So in other words, what I need to do here is if I lift the front up and I cut level, it's going to cut more from the bottom than from the front. And that's exactly 1/2 inch. So this is what I have here, just a 1/2 inch block. When I made my mold, I built it on the top of piece of wood, this thickness. So, and then I have balsa on top of it and it was shaped. I mean, you can do it any ways you want to do it. You can probably do it with a piece of foam just fine, right? So now, if I cut it right now, it's going to be obviously it's going to be below where it should be. So I'm going to raise this up 1/2 inch too, just like this. So can you guys see it good or?
Yeah.
It's a bad.
Great camera angle.
Yep.
All right, so I cannot see. It's kind of blurry in here, but so what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna. You see that? I just glue a piece of an X-Acto blade, and I'm just gonna put it here and just walk it around. You don't want to try to cut everything in one shot. And actually, right now I need a little bit like a helping hand because that. That thing is kind of old. So what are the odds that you get an old piece of tape that breaks everywhere?
In my shop,
doing this.
Very high odds.
Anyways, pretty high, huh? All right. So I just tape this so it doesn't shift around. It's much more stable. And I'm just trying to cut it just a little bit at a time. I'm not trying to go all the way through. I take one skin cut. I'm taking another one a little bit deeper. And I'm going to keep going like this, one little bit at a time, until I'm through it. And you can kind of see when you're through it, because it's going to fall down. Yep, there he goes. And here's the piece. It just came right off. And now obviously I'm going to move to the other side. And I'm going to cut it here. The trick to it is that you don't want to rush it. You just want to take your time. And once you cut it like this, you don't even need to sand it or anything like that. It's just... All right, hang on. I have to push this back because it's in a way. And So obviously this could be a parting line for a whole fuselage if you want to do 2 fuselage halves. Is it done? I don't know. I'm not trying to break it off. I just want to try to see where it's still. Almost done. There you go. There you go. It fell right off. There you go. And now we have a nicely cut shell.
Very nice.
And if you take this shell and you put it on top of the table, you can see it's pretty nice and flat.
Yeah, very nice.
So this basically is ready for installation. Again, this is a double layer of balsa wood of 1/16. And as you can see, this was done like a week ago or a week and a half ago, and it still maintains its shape.
Very nice, Tryon.
And this will not want to spring back. So with that, I'm done.
I have a question to Tryon. I might have missed it. So why did you raise it on one end again? I don't understand why you wouldn't cut it flat on the
Because this is 1 inch here. This is ½ an inch on the backside.
Okay.
So my mold is done on the same height. It's a constant height here. Okay. So when I raise it up like this, right, it's going to cut less from here and more from the back.
Okay. All right.
Makes sense? If I want to have like a 0 thickness over here, I'll just raise it to 1 inch. And then as I cut it across, it's going to be 0 on the back.
I see.
All right. Now, if you want to have a straight the turtle back on our backside, just keep the mold level. Right?
I see.
If you want to do a mold for a half A plane, then what you do, you use this backside of it. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then anything in between. I mean, it's just flexible. This is a flexible way of doing it.
Very good. Thank you.
And this is a trimmed canopy. If you're curious how much it weighs, this guy is okay. Looks like, wow. Something wrong with my scale here. About 13 grams.
That's not bad, especially for 2 sheets of balsa.
Yeah, make sure you brush all the seeds off that triple beam scale there.
Very good. I love that. Very good.
Yeah, so if you weigh the original weight with the whole thing, after trimming, before trimming, so as big of a shell that you can get, it's going to be about 18 grams.
Very good. Hey, Tryon, Mike wants to say something. I don't know if he wants to ask you a question or not, but go ahead, Mike.
No, I just want to jump in here while the feed was still going. How's everybody doing?
Oh, doing well. How you doing?
Hey, Mike.
I want to bring something to your attention. If you all ain't aware, I took advantage of something that AMA is doing now.
Yeah, custom numbers.
You can get customized AMA numbers up to 10 characters. And they don't have to be numbers. They can be letters and symbols and whatever else. And they're running it's $50 to do that. You know, it's kind of like a vanity plate or whatever. But they're doing them for $25 right now. And you make 3 submissions of what you want, and they tell you if it's available or not. So from heretofore, Samuel is no longer 981339. He is the Combat Kid. That is his official AMA number for every airplane that he has now will be Combat Kid instead of 981339.
That's very cool. Very cool. And Jim Smith wants to say something. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, yeah, I was just going to anybody that's using an iPad or an iPhone. I was just going to show you what I use. I worked 20 years as a professional photographer, and So if you want to be able to wander around and show stuff and things like that, much like what Bob showed us earlier, you can buy one of these type mounts that will, go up and down. You can get them where they'll fit an iPad and an iPhone. This one's for an iPad. And then it just mounts onto a tripod. And so you can just wander around with the tripod. The other secret of using an iPad is this little guy right here. That is an earbud. It happens to be an AirPod. But when you put this in, you can hook it up to Bluetooth on your iPad, and you will hear everyone perfectly, and they will hear you perfectly when you're using this. Even though, because if you get very far away, iPads and iPhones, they don't have the greatest microphones in the world. And so that's a good way to do it. And you can see from a profile that, let me spin this around. You can see how this works. It just has two little things that grab your iPad, so your iPad can't fall out, because you'll just lower it or whatever you got to do to tighten it up. And then, because when you're doing Stunt Hangar here like this, you can't switch camera front and back. So you have to have a way to, you can just point your tripod at whatever you're doing and look at the iPad back in the thing to see what you're showing. But that's a good way to do if you have an iPad or an iPhone.
Thank you very much. Very, very good. You guys, let me transition us to the after party. And the reason why I do that is because the stream, people will see a 3-hour video. They might not be inclined to want to watch it. So that's why I try to cut it off a little bit short. But we continue on, and we won't have the restrictions that we have during the live stream, right? So
Mike had one more thing.
You got that, Steve?
Mike had one more thing.
Oh, no, it wasn't important. I was just going to say, I almost switched my number to, I was going to grab Stunt Flyer, Flyer.
Really?
But I didn't do it because I've got my dad's AMA number, so I want to keep my dad's AM number. I went back and forth over getting a custom one, but I'm going to keep dad's. So, but I thought it was a kind of a neat thing for Sam to have right now,
Stunt Kid AMA number, awesome.
Hey, Mike, what did you say the price tag was on that?
Say again?
What was the price tag on that?
$25 right now, half off.
Yeah, Bob Whitney bought one a couple years ago that says RAD, R-A-D, and that's his AMA number on all those planes.
Yeah, I just happened to see a link somewhere.
Sorry, but let me end the stream here. I don't want to go too much longer. Anyways, hey, thanks everybody for showing up. Thank you for all the chats. We had quite a bit of activity on the chat box, and then we had quite a few show and tells, maybe more than we've had in a long time. Thank you very much, Tryan, for those 3 show and tells, on how to do the paint schemes, the Kevlar hinges, and how to cut the molded skins. And then Bob Hunt, thank you so much. I really appreciate your presentation on doing the skinning, and then even how to apply the skin, and everything you did was exemplary. I mean, that's awesome. You normally charge quite a bit for these videos that you do this commercially, so I really appreciate that. So
yeah, you haven't got his bill yet, Charles.
With that being said, I want to say we had a really nice show tonight. Thank you very much. I know that we're probably going to get some replays, and you're going to miss the live stream portion. Don't forget, we do this every Monday and Friday evening at 6:45, Pacific Standard Time, PM. And so make a note of that and come back and see us live, so you can come in or be on the chat box. So with that, I'm going to bid you good night, and I will talk to you and see you later. Let me close the stream here. 1, 2, 3, bam.